We're staged for another run of nitro-fueled NHRA talk. It's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts, with Marty Huff and 10-time NHRA winner Doug Herbert. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. Now, here are your hosts, Doug and Marty.
This is The Straight Line on Drag Racing. Thanks for stopping by our half hour of horsepower. Appreciate you being with us. Steve Torrence makes his case for winning a Top Fuel Championship with a win at Gateway, and Greg Anderson is back atop the Pro Stock standings with his victory in St. Louis. We're in the beams and set to launch another edition of The Straight Line. Wherever you may be, coast to coast around the world, this is The Straight Line on Drag Racing at mrn.com. Along with four-time IHRA Top Fuel champion and 10-time NHRA National Event winner Doug Herbert, I am Marty Huff. Coming off the weekend in Gateway, where we're seeing the cream rise to the top. Funny car winner Ron Capps has proclaimed it Octobler. Get it? And I don't blame him, because October is where they won their championship last year, and it's looking like it may be again this year.
Crew Chief Ron Tobler.
Ron Tobler.
For anybody that wouldn't follow that part.
Correct. Ron Tobler, of course, the crew chief for Ron Capps, and Ellie Tonglet puts himself back into the championship race. Now it's a three-horse race and motorcycles with the Harley guys and Ellie Tonglet.
Well, absolutely. Steve Torrence had his work cut out for him, but he pulled out that win in the final against Doug Coletta, and that was a close race for anybody that didn't get to see it. It was about a wheel between those two cars, so it was a really close race. I'm wondering, we'll have to ask Steve when he's on a little bit later, his light in the final was off his average quite a bit. I don't know, it was a quick light or whatever happened, but boy, he had his hands full in the final. Ron Capps pulls off another win. Like you say, he's making it a little bit tough on everybody else with what he's got going on right now. Yeah. And then the Harleys and the bike department have kind of, they're in a good spot, but Ellie Tonglet's kind of come in there, has got something to say about it. And then the KB Racing guys back to life.
Yeah.
And maybe they've got something to say about this championship again this year, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I would think so. They've, after everybody caught up with the KB guys, it's still pretty clear that between Greg Anderson and Jason Line and the cars that they supply for Bo Butner, that they've really kind of they have reestablished themselves as probably the championship guys. Last year was a dominant performance, obviously. This year was kind of a struggle for them at times, but I think as we got to the playoffs, like I said, the cream rises to the top.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And Low ET and Top Speed by Greg Anderson, Jason Line, so the KB guys take that there. Also notable, I thought, was Clay Milliken, #1 qualifier with the quickest 1,000-foot run of all time. That was cool. Happy to see that. And, bummed that they had a issue second round. I don't know, they smoked the tires or shook the tires or something. But great run. Clay Milliken's team getting really making a super run and grabbing that #1 spot. They've been low qualifier quite a few times.
Right.
And, for those of the viewers, listeners that don't know, they don't have nearly as many parts in the trailer as Coletta and Schumacher, Steve Torrence. So for them to be out there running the way that they are is a pretty big deal for Clay Milliken, David Grubnick, that entire team, Doug Stringer. They're making a lot out of not a lot.
Yeah, when everybody was here at ZMAX Dragway, we had the opportunity to sit and talk with Doug Stringer for a while, just shooting the breeze, and we were trying to needle him on, okay, what are you guys doing over there? And Doug said, it's not really anything mind-blowing. We just got on the same page, and we committed to an idea, and we're sticking with it, and that idea, whatever that idea is, has really worked.
Well, they've got something working. I'm guessing it's in the clutch department. David Grubnick's pretty sharp on the computer and analyzing data and so forth, and he has been for a long time. In addition to being, a driver, he drove the McGee's car. He drove John Mitchell's Montana Express car. He drove, obviously, for Coletta's for a long time. He's a very good racer and tuner in addition to being able to do other stuff. He used to be my backup driver. Like if I was not feeling well or had to go to work, he'd run my car and drive it on testing days and stuff. So he's a great guy. Known him for a long time.
About the same size, And so you didn't have to modify this.
Well, he always weighed about 20 pounds less than me, so my crew chief would always, bust me. The car always runs a little better with him in there. And I'd always tell Grubnick, don't run it to the finish line.
Right? It's a good way to keep your job, I guess. Right. When we return, we will talk to the winner at Gateway in the Top Fuel category. Steve Torrence will join us next.
If your wiper blades are worn and streaking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and save $8 instantly on a pair of Trico Force wiper blades. Improve visibility and save money with Trico Force wiper blades. Plus, take advantage of O'Reilly Auto Parts' free wiper blade installation. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Numbers. In NASCAR, numbers represent speed, passion, guts, and glory. Because numbers represent drivers. Numbers like 14, 88, 42, and 78. Numbers that say, that's my driver. Don't mess with my driver. See your number live at Kansas Speedway's first ever playoff elimination race. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Hollywood Casino 400. Sunday, October 22nd. Tickets at kansasspeedway.com.
Hey, Junior Nation, MRN and Wrangler want to send you and a guest to Miami and Ford Championship Weekend to cheer on Dale Earnhardt Jr. in his final Cup Series race.
Enter now at MRN.com for a trip of a lifetime. The grand prize includes travel and hotel accommodations, grandstand tickets for all 3 races, pace car rides, pit passes, and much more.
It's the Salute to Junior Sweepstakes presented by the Wrangler Performance Series. Jeans and pants for less restrictions and more living.
Try on a pair today.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's more with Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
Appreciate you being with us on The Straight Line this afternoon, and joining us on the telephone line right now is the driver of the Capco Contractors Top Fuel Dragster and winner at Gateway Motorsports Park this weekend. Steve Torrence joins us. Steve, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Congratulations on the win.
What's up, guys? Thanks a lot, man. That was cool. That was a great weekend.
It sounds like a broken record where it's a winner, Steve Torrence, and it just gets like
sound bad.
It's Groundhog Day, Winner Steve Torrence, winner Steve Torrence. I guess that doesn't ever get old though.
Never gets old. I hope I get to do this like at least 2 or 3 more times.
Yeah, right.
Year.
Exactly. Well, you had a great run over there last weekend. Low ET, second round semis, and obviously final round. Did lane choice mean a lot? Getting those. It was very important over at St. Louis. I know some years it has been, some years it hasn't. How did that factor this year?
I don't think it was really that big of a deal. Hogan was pretty comfortable. We ran well in both lanes.
Yep.
As the day went on, I never gave it any attention. I knew the thing was just living in the 60s, and I'd been on the tree pretty good. So I was real confident all day long. I never really thought too much about lane choice, and he didn't ever say anything, and it doesn't change the way that I drive. I have to go shallow or he wants to chew on me, so I just was shallow every time and did everything I could. But yeah, great weekend.
Well, being shallow, you had some great reaction times. Marty and I were talking about it earlier. Every round in the final was a little bit low, off your average. Was it a quick tree, or what happened in the final that caused you to be slower than your average?
Yeah, it was. It was a quick tree, and all the trees, throughout the weekend, for the most part, at least 75% of them were a longer tree. Huh. We went up there in the final, and I went in and staged the car. I was last to stage, and it just seemed like the light came on as soon as I staged. I wasn't ready for it, and, clearly neither was Doug either, because we were 82 and 88, and neither one of us had been, that bad all day. I think I'd been 2 30s and a 40, and he was 30, 40, and 60 or something. So, it was just a really quick tree, and fortunately, he missed it like I did, and we had a faster race car.
Steve, you mentioned doing well and having lane choice or the lack thereof, because you were good in either lane. The 7th qualifier, mainly because you didn't get to have that Friday night run. You had an issue. Did you find out what was wrong with the brakes, and what came of that?
Yeah, it was pretty easy to find out. The brake rotor fell off.
Whoa.
So that, you know, those are brand new carbon 16, 17 run carbon rotors, and comes to find out they had sent us some prototype rotors that they were trying and kind of forgot to tell us that they were prototypes. The left rotor actually broke in half and fell off the car, and then the right rotor broke, the mounts broke, so inside the spindle. So you could pull the brake, it would squeeze the rotor, clamp the rotor, but then the hub would turn inside of the brake rotor. So zero brakes whatsoever. And I felt it pop and lose brakes as soon as I started slowing down from the burnout, and tried to get off the track as quick as possible. You know, I think you could see some of that on the coverage that I was having a little argument with the guy on the four-wheeler.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Yeah, he was pushing, and I was trying to explain to him behind the helmet and the headstock that I had no brakes. And I thought that, like, the crossing and waving of the hands was the universal sign for stop whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But clearly that just meant temporarily stop what you're doing. So I rounded the end of the track, and he started pushing me again, and I see another dragster sitting there and a whole lot of people and cameras, and I'm like, get out of the way, I don't have any brakes.
Oh,
so,
man.
It was a little scary at the end. I didn't want to run over anybody, but made for some good TV, and somebody got to talk bad about me.
Yeah, having no brakes is always a bad feeling, that's for sure. Hey, Steve, 8 wins this year, doubling your total of wins in one season. To say this is a unbelievable stellar year would be an understatement.
Yeah, an understatement. It would be the best way to say it. You know, we came into this season with a lot of confidence and hope. The car ran really good at the end of the year last year, and we tried a few things the first few races, and we really dialed in this combination at Houston, or at the end of Vegas, you know, through qualifying, and stayed on Monday at Vegas and tested, and then came to Houston, went to the final, went to Charlotte and won. So it's been a constant evolution this year of this tune-up and just getting it better and perfecting it, and getting the car to run not only more consistently but quicker, you know. And I think that showed this weekend. We went every lap, we were in the 60s, and I don't think that anybody's done that yet.
No, and Clay Milliken running a 63 this weekend. I mean, it just kind of shows where Top Fuel is. Steve, somewhere down along the line, is there a 50 out there? Possibly, if the conditions, I mean, obviously the conditions are right, but is a 50 possible sometime down along the line?
You know, I don't really know. I'm not a tuner. I'm just a driver. But I will say that looking at his early numbers and looking at his half-track ET, he got a lot of ET early. He didn't have the half-track speed that we've seen some of these other cars run, and that could be just the way that they're running the car. But if you could get those same numbers with you know, he went 2.90 at the 8th at only 294 miles an hour. Some of these guys are going 297, 298, 299 at the 8th. So you take that 63 and add 4 or 5 miles an hour on it, that's easily a 60 flat or a low 61. So, you know, it just depends. The track there was amazing. Even though it's not a full concrete surface, they really had that thing glued up well. The conditions were right, and who knows, that Parts Plus car, or that Papa John's car, they can go out there and outrun everybody right now. They think that the 5 quickest runs are those 2 people. So, you know, you have to worry about that on race day. But with that being said, you know, sometimes both of those drivers right there will give up a little bit on the starting line. You just got to pick them off.
Yeah. Headed to Dallas for the next run, and you're dragging the old man with you.
Dragging the old man to Dallas. Yeah, that's going to be a fun weekend. We have all the friends and family there. So, Doug, you know what it's like racing at home.
Yeah.
But it's great, and then it's great that it's over. So, looking forward to it. Got a lot of people that have been rooting for us, a lot of Capco people, a lot of people that we're working with and for, and just family. Because, I mean, like like you said earlier, it's been pretty much a storybook season, and everybody is on the Torrence racing. Everybody's on the Torrence racing bandwagon right now. So we're going to try to go out and do some good, have a good time at home, and maybe. I got beat in the final there last year by my good buddy Antron, and that sucker, he stole my cowboy hats the way I look at it. I'm going to try to go to Texas and win a cowboy hat.
Well, Steve Torrence, great job. Unbelievable. You, the Capco team, Richard Hogan, Bobby Lagana Jr., you guys have been doing a great job. Points lead, well-deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. All that success is from those guys right there working so hard.
Steve Torrence, driver of the Capco Contractors Top Fuel Dragster winner at Gateway, joining us on the Straight Line. And when we return, we'll talk to another Gateway winner, Pro Stock victor Greg Anderson. Will join us next.
O'Reilly. 1 out of every 4 batteries will fail this winter. Get yours tested for free during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. We'll help determine the life of your battery or the perfect replacement. Plus, take advantage of the mail-in rebates on select Superstart batteries. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Bagley. Join me every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. This 1-hour interactive show gives you an inside look at your favorite NASCAR drivers.
I've always firmly believed if I'm worried about getting hurt, I need to step down.
As well as give you a chance to talk with them one-on-one.
My question for Chase is, well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Chase.
Well, thanks. Hey, Ryan, I just want to congratulate you on your first one.
Oh, I am? Oh, my gosh. Hi.
It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday at 7 Eastern on the Motor Racing Network.
This is power. This is tradition. This is Talladega. Wildcard Weekend returns October 13th through 15th.
He's on his way to victory lane for the 5th time in 26.
Thanks for listening to MRN. We want to give race fans the best product possible. Let us know what you think. Go to mrn.com/survey and you can get an MRN Hero Card.
You're logged in to the Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's Doug and Marty.
Thanks for being with us today here on the Straight Line. As we wrapped up with Steve Torrence, we talked about his dad coming out. His dad obviously has a Top Fuel license and comes out from time to time. And he's going to run the last 3 events of the season in Dallas, Las Vegas, and Pomona, which is kind of a good thing. But, I mean, there's some things that may not work there as well because you're adding a whole new team or a whole new car to that team.
Well, hopefully what they'll do, I'm guessing what they'll do is they'll take the team that's been running Dom Lagana, the Bobby Lagana team, and just put that on Dad's car, and so it won't take anything away from Steve's car. That's what I would think that they would do, and probably so. Hopefully they can use it to help each other out. It looks, Lagana's car's been taking some people out. They ran really good last week at St. Louis, so you never know. I mean, you got to think that they probably know what they're doing. They're leading the points.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's some people behind them that aren't very dumb, so they're doing something right.
I'm not going to argue with him at this point. And another guy that's running really well right now is the winner at Gateway in the Pro Stock division. He is Greg Anderson. Greg, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it, and congratulations on the victory at Gateway.
Thank you very much, guys.
Well, great job over there, man. You guys, we're thinking last year you guys were just dominating them, and then this year, oh, boy, I wonder what happened to those KB Racing guys. All of a sudden, there they are again.
Shocking.
It kind of looked like we've been dragging a parachute all year long. Have you noticed that? Or?
Yeah, you guys have been sandbagging until it comes down to go time here.
God, I wish that was the case. Now, the bottom line is everybody's caught up, and we knew it would happen. We kept saying it last year. We knew it would happen. It's real. Everybody's in such a tight box right now. Everybody's running very close to each other, and it's absolutely putting way, way more emphasis on driver and car setup, car tune-up, how you manage the racetrack on Sundays. So, good fortune. We've been racing really well lately. We're not exactly outpowering anybody, but we've been racing very well on Sundays. So, got lucky and got me one the other night.
Well, you did a great job on that one, that's for sure. How about Ken Black and Jason Line? You guys low ET and top speed. Ken Black's got to be pretty pleased with the performance and the way that the team is going now. And then obviously with Bo Butner.
Yeah, he is.
Some of your power there.
We got a great 1-2-3 punch, and I'm not sure who I should put 1, 2, or 3. It almost like Bo has been 1 most of the season. He is not an easy out anymore.
Yeah.
He's a tough racer these days. He's learned how to win, and he liked it, and he wants a whole lot more of it. So he's going to be a handful the rest of the way.
Hey, Greg, you mentioned the emphasis on the cars and the car setups and the track setups. You being a hands-on guy, not a driver specialist, do you think that gives you an advantage, you and Jason?
Well, possibly. You know, both of us obviously are car guys, and we've been around them a long time, and we don't just get in the car and drive them. We work on them all the time, and we understand them. We test a lot. I used to be crew chief in the game, so yeah, there's a lot of it I understand. But bottom line is Rob Downing, and since we started the playoffs, we've had a helping hand from Mike Edwards. I'm sure everybody remembers Mike, great racer, fantastic mind, fantastic guy at tuning a race car. So between him and Rob, they've elevated our game here in the playoffs, and we're making really clean runs with our race cars, and regardless if we've been able to qualify, you know, at the top or not, we've been able to pretty much outrace them on Sunday these last couple of races. So my hat's off to those guys. They're doing a great job.
Well, in the final round, it looked like the driver did a pretty good job. Are there any side bets between you and Jason on what happened there?
If there would have been, I would have probably bet on him. He had me covered, and he was 005 on a light in semifinal. It was looking pretty bleak for me. I'm not sure what happened there. I just had a decent light, a normal light, and somehow he missed it. He didn't come up with the one he needed, and I got lucky and got the win. So I was working on a 4th runner-up in a row there. I kind of struggling to get the win light lately in the final round. I've been racing great and making final rounds, but hadn't been able to get a win light, and was kind of a bit surprised when that baby came on in the final round there. But pretty cool deal.
And
well, that's for sure.
And there's no shame in final round appearances, especially when it comes to the countdown, because those are just points that just keep adding up. And right now, you're talking about the little points as well, because you're just 3 points ahead of Bo Butner. How much are you looking at qualifying as well as the race on Sundays?
Absolutely, positively. Those little points mean everything. I can't seem to get it out of my mind. I lost the championship last year to Jason by 3 points. Yeah. Little points, and it all happened at Pomona during qualifying. I made a bad run, and I aborted one run. He got 3 points on that run. I got none. So, yeah, you need every single one you can get, and they're hard to get right now. And, you know, I guess I've got a final round average. I got 2 runner-ups and a win in the countdown, and I'm still only ahead by 3 points. So that's how good everybody's racing right now.
Yeah, that's tough competition, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Jason, tell us about what NHRA, there's grumblings about their 8-car field, limiting pro stock and all that. I mean, you guys have been doing this for a long time and doing a really good job and keeping your sponsors for a long time, and obviously doing a great job promoting not only your sponsors but the sport. What do you think? Were they missing the boat, or what needs to be done to fix what's going on?
Well, there's no question. We're certainly not in favor of that. You know, we've been struggling a little bit for the past year to get the right amount of car count, and we're not the only ones. We've struggled a little bit with the top fuel class too, but regardless, we've struggled a little bit. It's gotten better lately. We've attracted some new cars lately, and we've had 16 in the last 4 or 5 races, so it's getting better. But we struggle with the car count, so we know we've got an issue there. We've got to find a way to make that better. We think we've got some great ideas going forward to fix that issue and any other small issues the class has. I think the class is still in great shape. It's got great storylines. It's got a 18-year-old kid that's won 4 races this year, never drove a drag car in his life, won 4 races, and still got a great chance to win the world championship. So you got that story. You obviously got a female world champion in the class, that's in the countdown, and tight racing every week. You can't pick who's going to win. We've had 9 different winners this year. Never know who's going to win any given weekend. So I think we got great storylines. I think we still got a great class. It's not broken like a few people think, and I don't think we need to go to an 8-car field. We've got way more racers than that. So we're gonna try and come up with some different options here and make sure that there's no issue getting 16 cars to each race. And I think hopefully we can persuade the bosses out in Glendora that we need 16 cars at every race. So we'll see going forward. It's the latest scuttlebutt, the latest rumor going around, and that's what they want to do. But we're going to try our darndest to prove them that the class is worthy of 16.
Greg, headed to Dallas, and to my memory, that's been a place that's been pretty good to you.
Absolutely, the Motorplex. I seem to like all the super tracks. I don't know
Yeah,
what
right?
it is. And, that track at St. Louis last week was absolutely awesome. You saw what the fuel cars run. You had perfect weather all weekend, so it was like a super track all weekend. You really had no issue with tire shake, had no issue with excessive tire spin, anything. You just basically could run what you brought, run as fast as you could possibly go, and that was fun. That was great, and the Motorplex has always been like that too. You just don't struggle with that racetrack at all, and you make quality runs there. So look forward to going there every year, and I guess that just falls into our MO here, what we like as racetracks, and that's why we've had success there.
Hey, Greg, being around the races a long time with you and seeing your family, and Kim goes to races with you, your kids go to the races with you. How much of a neat deal is that to have your family going to the races with you and being able to spend some time with them there?
Well, it's awesome, and I don't know that the other motorsports necessarily have that going on, or certainly not to the level we do. Yep. As it makes drag racing great. That's one of the huge things we love about it. You can spend the weekends with your family. You don't have to be isolated away from them in like you do in NASCAR or some of the other motorsports. So there's a lot of cool things about drag racing. Obviously, the fans can come up and interact and mingle with you and look up close on the cars, and the families are all part of the deal over the weekend. So I don't know. I look back on it many times and say, what would I have done different? But I think I picked the right avenue. I love this sport, love everything about it, and I'm glad I've done it. And it's been great for the family too.
Well, great job. Congratulations. I mean, you've got it done this year, and you've got it done a lot of times. So I'll tell you what, great job, you guys up there in Mooresville, North Carolina. I know you're going to be working late because that's what you do, and that's why there's been a number 1 on the side of your car quite a few times. I'm pretty sure of that.
Well, we're down to 3 races, Doug, and it's basically a dead heat right now, so it's crunch time. Somebody's going to win this thing, whoever executes the best over the last 3 races. So, yeah, I absolutely wanted to come back to this shop in Mooresville. We've got 3 chances at it. There's 4 or 5 other cars that are still alive, too. So never know where that title's going to go yet, but we're going to do all we can to bring her back here to Mooresville.
Well, Greg, congratulations. I think your son's getting about the right age. You need to be coming and bringing him back to a brakes class before.
Yes, I do. Absolutely do, Doug. We need to work that out.
I would love to see that. So we'll look forward to that. Congratulations on the win. Good luck coming up at Dallas, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.
Driver of the Summit Racing Equipment Chevy Camaro for KB Racing, Greg Anderson, joining us on the straight line. And when we return, we will wrap up another great edition of the show.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Race fans, visit Camping World of Concord for convenient one-stop shopping on outdoor accessories, top brand RVs, and quality service. Buy an RV and enroll in the Good Sam Elite loyalty program, offering incentives valued at over $2,000. Browse over 10,000 Camping World products and accessories in America's largest RV dealer network. Plus, shop the top manufacturers such as Coleman, Keystone, Newmar, Thor Motor Coach, Winnebago, and many more. America's #1 RV dealer has something for everyone. Visit Camping World of Concord today. See dealer for full details and disclaimers.
Hi, this is Woody Kane.
Give title and show name. Don't forget the sponsor.
Host of MRN Motorsports Monday presented by Outback Steakhouse.
Come on, introduce your co-host. Tell them where to find us.
Log on to MRN.com and Facebook to join Joey Meyer and I as we talk. What are you doing?
I'm spotting you through this promo.
I got it.
Okay.
As we talk the latest news, and...
See? You wouldn't have crashed if you listened to your spotter.
Okay. Join MRN Motorsports Monday presented by Outback Steakhouse every Monday at noon or anytime on demand at MRN.com.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now, back to Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
Appreciate you joining us here on The Straight Line at MRN.com. And we were talking during the break. It's really surprising once you look down the top fuel points list. The first Schumacher car is 4th right now. And we're 3 races into the countdown. I mean, that's a very surprising. I mean, Steve Torrence, Doug Coletta, Brittany Force, they've all had their wins during during the countdown. But still, that's pretty surprising.
Well, it seems
to
like
me.
the Schumacher cars they're not there. They're not quite there. You got to say Antron is probably the best one of them.
Yeah.
But they're just not quite there in the performance. They can't jump up and put out a low ET, which is kind of surprising to me, really. You would think that they would be able to. But anyway, I don't know that I'd count them out yet. Antron Brown, Mark Oswald, Brian Karate, they've got a pretty deep bench, and there's a reason why they had a number one in their car a couple times too. But that's the way it goes.
Yeah, and so next week we'll be talking to some more of the winners from St. Louis as we head to the Dallas Motorplex. So for everybody involved, thanks for being here. We will talk to you next week right here on The Straight Line at MRN.com.
You've been listening to The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Straight Line is the show for drag racing fans and was brought to you by Hercules Tires. Tune in again next Thursday on MRN.com and the MRN app. The Straight Line is also available on demand in MRN.com's Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, and in iTunes or the Google Play Store. The Straight Line is a production of the Motor Racing Network.